Let's have a look at some facts, shall we, and see can we do a bit of interpreting. Fact number 1. The coastlines of Africa and America look as though they would fit together. We know this fact because we have maps and because we have eyes to look at those maps. This does not imply they were joined, but it is suggestive of it. Fact number 2. Rock strata that terminate on one coastline appear to have a counterpart on the opposite coastline. Examples include the Appalachian Mountains, the Samgru Mountain Belt, and diamond fields in both Brazil and southern Africa. This does not imply they were joined, but it is suggestive of it. Fact number 3. Using GPS measurements, it has been determined that the continents of Africa and the Americas are receding from each other at the rate of around 5 centimeters a year. The transatlantic cable breaks also confirm recession. So given these 3 facts, what can we conclude? The scientist concludes that Africa and America was joined. The creationist doesn't really have much choice but to agree with this assessment. It is at this point that interpretational differences come into play. The scientist reasons that if the continents are currently receding at about 5 centimeters per year, and assuming that this speed was relatively constant, then the continents were joined a few 100 million years ago. The creationist simply goes, the flood caused the continents to split apart. Notice how the scientist's position wasn't based on any presupposition, but rather an extrapolation, and that his or her conclusion is only as good as the accuracy of that extrapolation. Also notice how the creationist position is based on a presupposition, namely that of the global flood. So here we have 2 interpretations of the same set of facts. In this situation, science comes to the fore. It looks for more facts in order to see which interpretation will hold up. Fact number 4. There is an underwater mountain ridge running through the centre of the Atlantic. Among this mountain ridge are hundreds of volcanoes. Fact number 5. Taking samples from the ocean floor and radiometrically dating them leads to the results shown in this image. The youngest oceanic rocks are located along the mid-Atlantic ridge, and the oldest oceanic rocks are located along the coastlines. Note that oceanic rocks give a substantially younger age than the continental rocks when they are radiometrically dated. Fact number 6. Oceanography has revealed magnetic banding either side of the mid-Atlantic ridge. The youngest rocks have the same polarity as the Earth's magnetic field. As you move outwards from the ridge, you see an alternating pattern of polarity flipping between normal and reversed polarity. This pattern is symmetrical either side of the mid-Atlantic ridge and indicates that the formation of the seabed was relatively uniform. Now that we have some new facts to chew over, it is becoming clear that one of our interpretations is in a little bit of trouble. Actually, it is in a lot of trouble. The age gradation in the ocean floor refutes the flood interpretation outright. The magnetic banding and its uniform nature also refutes the flood interpretation outright. At this point, I think it should be clear that this discussion has ceased to be a mere difference of interpretation. This does not stem from presuppositions, but from facts. The 6 facts I have mentioned here are only the tip of an iceberg that crushes the pseudoscientific edifice of creationism. In a weird way, the Answers in Genesis quote, which was previously shown, is true regarding presuppositions. Creationists start from the presupposition that their holy book is true, while scientists start from the presupposition that evidence is the only metric for determining truth. The hilarity of this is that creationists don't understand why this leads to their inevitable drubbing in scientific circles and in the courtroom. Huxley versus Wilberforce will continue to be reenacted for many years to come, with Wilberforce's argument remaining largely unchanged.